Hello and welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and in this episode we are going to talk about 3 different games again, for Windows 10 Mobile in this case. And those are going to be Hexagonum, Off-Road Construction Simulation 3D, and Rock Life Hero Guitar Legend. My name is Gerald. As always, I've got a couple of different things with me, which are, for instance, this Bluetooth mouse, which is of course connected to the smartphone. I am going to use my foldable keyboard, which is this one, Bluetooth enabled too. And in general, you could use the Xbox One wireless controller, but in this episode there's no or none of the games, I think, no game that is going to support this, so this one stays at the side. And of course, everything is as always done with my Lumia 950 XL, pretty old smartphone nowadays, but still a good one for our gaming sessions we are doing here. And in the end, it is connectable by USB-C connector at the bottom here, has a Mozo cover at the bottom, or better to say, it's a back here. And it is Continuum enabled. That means that we have this desktop-like experience, and as you can see, for instance, this smartphone is at the moment more or less a touchpad, so I can use it like this. And of course, as mentioned before, we have, for instance, this mouse, and of course I can use this mouse to navigate around too, and of course the keyboard too. And as you already can see, it's more or less looking like a desktop-like experience. And that is more or less all powered by the smartphone. So if you want to know more all about this, please have a look at the corner of there. There are a couple of other videos where I'm going to talk about that more in depth than I do in this episode. Other than that, let's start with the first game. The first game is going to be Hexagonum. And just to let you know, probably all of the games we are going to try today are best played on the smartphone itself. So we are going to go to the mirror mode in this case. They are all, I think, not in the Continuum mode playable. And the problem about them is that you really need the controls on the touch display, otherwise you will have a hard time to play these games. So how do I do that? Because now we are in the Continuum mode, and of course you can use it as a desktop but now everything on the touch display would be a touchpad, right? So it's not going to work. And if you want to change that, go to the 3-point menu up there. Go in here, go to the settings of the display, so display settings or device settings, I'm not sure. And if you scroll down a little bit, then you are going to find extended settings more or less, and there is mirroring of the screen. So Geräte spiegeln in Germany, or in German. And as you can see, everything that is now going on is going to be on the smartphone, and it's going to be mirrored up here, so it's looking like that, like what you would see on the smartphone itself. Still, I can use my mouse for that, and I can of course go down here, and now I'm just going to go to my all apps list in this case, and search for the first game. The first game is called Hexagonum, this one, there we are. And Hexagonum is a small little puzzle game, I would say, but a pretty fast one. So you really have to stay at it and play it pretty constantly. Interesting thing about it is it's more or less a very simple game where you are just going to turn around the middle part here. So this is hexagon, so we have those six corners there, or 6 edges in the end. And all of those will get covered with a couple of different bars, which are going to fly from the outer space here, whatever, to the inner ones. And when it hits the black box here, the black bar, hexagon in the middle, they are going to stick there. And it's more or less a little bit like a Tetris in more dimensions, or whatever I want to call it. So in the end, you're going to have 3 or 6 probably. I'm not sure. I didn't really do it, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 different bars which are going to more or less fill up, and you will have to more or less make sure that they are not filling up. How do you do that? The different bars which are coming are in different colors, and all of these colors are more or less going to be stackable above each other. And if you use the same colors at the same place there, then they are going to be more or less vanishing or whatever. You are getting points for it. and you get more or less like the rows in Tetris or something, okay? So let's try it out. As mentioned before, I will have to play on the smartphone. For that I'm going to turn around a little, just to let you see how the experience is. In the end you can see everything on the big screen too, but just to show you what's going on. You just go and hit the middle. It's all in French. I'm not sure why, but it's fine. And as you can see, there is one of the yellow ones. And if I now click, for instance, it's going to change the rotation. It takes, of course, all the different bars with it. And if you have 3 bars of the same color, then they are going to vanish, as you saw there. And yeah, in the end, all you will have to do now is try to make sure that you are not going to lose this by stacking up the wrong colors. And if you are clicking on the left or the right part, so this one was a wrong one, if you are clicking on the right or the left part, it's going to move around more or less in the different directions. So the turning direction will change here. And as you already can see, it's not too easy to work this through, but not hard or anything anyway neither. And okay, one last chance I have there more or less. Okay, worked out with a lot of luck because I didn't really get everything. It's a little bit hard to stay focused on all the different parts here because they are of course flying in from all different directions at the same time, and it's a pretty fast game, so you really have to more or less try to be very careful what you are doing, but whatever. This is more or less a game. Clicking on the right part here is going to turn it to the right, or in... Is that a thing in clockwise? Clockwise, right? So it's a thing. And yeah, now it's more or less over. The next one that is not going to be of the right color. Here we go. It worked. I don't know why. In the end, after a while, you're going to lose it because there's no more space left, and this is more or less the end of the game then. And at the moment, I have a lot of luck, as it seems, because I really get all the different points here, which is fun. First time I played this, I was really, really bad and got killed very fast, but now it seems like somehow I get a couple of them right. I think it's about those rings too, so in the end, if you get a couple of them, now you saw it, there was a green one, nothing to really get over everything else. And there was no connection at the corners here, so I lost it and got this kind of score. It's a pretty fun game, so try it out. I really like the game itself. Hard to understand at the start, but really, really easy to conquer in the end. Problem is that it's really fast and there is a lot of overwhelming stuff going on sometimes. But anyway, I think it's a fun game. Pretty nice and something to play at wherever you are, to just play for a couple of seconds more or less, and then you're going to have a point here or a score here, and of course you are fighting against yourself more or less. So try it out if you really like it. As you can see, it's the best turn I had here. The first one was really, really bad, the 34 one, and this is more or less how the game is going to work out and how it's done. Okay, we have to go to the right, and now we can just click on this to go back to our normal part. And let's have a look at the next game. The next game is a 3D simulation, and it's called OffRoad Construction Simulation 3D. So a pretty long word, and I think it's even longer. There we go, but I didn't bother to name it like this. It's heavy, whatever. I'm going to click on that, and this is a game that is best played on the smartphone itself again, so please make that the reason here. And of course, we will have to move it around a little bit. So hopefully it's going to turn. Yeah, there we are. And in the end, as you can see, it's already a small little 3D game we are going to play. And the first part there is just something that you can download from the website or whatever. So ignore that, just hit the X I did already and go into the real game, which is this one. as you already can hear and see, there it is. I need my remote control to increase the volume of my PC here, of course, a little bit. There's some kind of a background music starting here. I really don't get why it's this kind. It's a little bit, yeah, like sad or something, I'm not sure. But whatever, doesn't really matter. If you hit play, you can go into it. And as you can see, you have different kinds of levels you're going to work with. Of course, other ones are not free now, because you first have to get this one ready. So let's play the game. It's more or less about construction work or something. So you are going to have, in this case, this little, I'm not even sure what the English name of it is, a bulldozer or something maybe. And you are going to drive around and try to get rid of different obstacles coming into your way, and of course of all the stuff. That moves the rocks and throws them off the road. Okay, so that is your first part. As you can see, you have different kinds of controls. This is the reason why you should play it with your smartphone, because anytime you see this, and it's not going to be using the keyboard in the end, which this one isn't, yeah, then you have really a really hard time to play this with the mouse. So just use your fingers here and just move it around. Make sure that you get a little bit accustomed to the controls here, because it's really not that easy to turn such a big heavy loader here around. It's really a pretty slow process, and you really have to make sure that you are ready to turn that guy in the right directions. But in the end, it's not hard or something. As you can see, there is some rocks blocking the roads, and we are meant to make sure that they get off the road. So most importantly, if you do this and throw them off the road, make sure that you are not thrown behind them too. Happened to me a couple of times when I first tried this. So make sure that the street is going to be turn around a little bit, sync, okay, and we are just going to try to move to the side, of course, and now bring it over. No, we don't want to follow. Okay, perfect. So first two are gone, and now we are just going to press the brake to more or less go backwards. I find it a little bit funny that that is the case, but it's fine. In the end, you don't have a real brake here, which is a little bit... Don't go down, thank you. So, in the end, make sure that you get all the different parts here off the... No, I'm going to fall. Perfect. As you can see, it's not that easy to do, but it's easy enough, you can try it. And level is completed because I got all the rocks from the part, but I died myself, so maybe you want to try it again and make it better the next time, but whatever. If we press next now, we can go to the next level and you can see what that is all about. And it's going to be a little bit different. As you already saw there, you were on more or less a transport in this case. And we are going to have a look at what's going on. But it's a pretty nice little 3D game if you like this kind of simulation part. And here we go. Park the plover onto the trailer. So we will have to first move there, as you can see. Same thing as before. So we have a very different vehicle here. And I'm just going to try to bring it up that little ramp there, to make sure that we can drive safely somewhere else. And this one is a little bit easier to control, if you ask me. I'm not sure why, but maybe it is. Maybe because I'm really hitting the full speed. And you can see it's really slow in this case, but whatever, I like that. Okay, and now make sure that you can park it, and now you have more or less got it right, and the guy can drive with us, which of course is a very, very, yeah, you wouldn't do it because you have to fix it as a cargo there somehow, but still it's like this. And now the second part is we are driving the big trucks, so you're not going to always have the same vehicles or something here, and you are going to drive up this road. Okay, let's do that. And yeah, so you already see we have a couple of different levels like this. It's a pretty fine little game. Graphics are okay. Textures are a little bit low, low level or whatever, but it does what it should do. And I think it's a pretty nice little thing. There is going to be the city, as you can already see. And you will have to drive this way around. Of course, try to not hit the ground or something. Just stay on the street, this very, very narrow one. And sometimes it's a little bit hard to do that, because they really made it a little bit narrow. But it works pretty fine if you're going to use your touch controls for it. So let's see if we can go over there, and after that I would say we are through this game. But you already can see it's a pretty fun one if you like this kind of things here, like the truck and stuff like that. All fine. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't. Okay, died. Perfect. Whatever, as you can see, this is more or less a game. It's pretty fun to play if you ask me, and it's a simulation game of course, but not too serious or something. And like that, it's more or less fun. Yeah, try it out. I'm going to go out of this game and go to the next one. And just to let you know, if you click long on the back button in Windows 10 Mobile, you can of course get rid of different kind of things which are playing in the background or whatever. And what we are going to do here is, of course, we are going to free it from time to time, just to make sure that you have the full power of the smartphone here to work with in these games, whatever you want to try out there, right? Okay, so let's have a look at the third game. And the third game is a little bit like a Guitar Hero game, or whatever you want to call that. So try it out. It's called Rock Life Hero Guitar Legend. So let's put it in. Hero, or better to say, it's Rock Life, so why not start with that? There we are. Rock Life Hero Guitar Legend. Another game that you really can't play with your keyboard or your mouse or whatever, because it's really hard to do that. They could, of course, map some kind of let's say, I don't know, ASDF or something like that to the strings there, but it's really much more fun and I think meant to be played with your smartphone in mind. Okay, how is it going to be? As you can already see, we are in this game. We have the start game part there, and I already played a little bit, and as you can see, the first part is going to be first just a small little introduction, and I'm going to show you how it's done in the later real world. But you can even go in and buy new guitars and stuff like that. Make sure that you have different kinds of colors, of course, whatever you want there. And you will be able to select different kinds of guitars, which is a pretty nice touch here with different kinds of styles and whatever you want to try out. I really like this one, for instance. It's a pretty nice one. Let's see what the last one is. This one is nice too. Which one is the nicer one? I think I like the cutout more here, but all fine. And as you can see, we can use, for instance, this. I think this is Sunburned or whatever called. And this one, pretty nice too. I think I like the Sunburned one. And yeah, in the end, now you can buy this, for instance, with, of course, your dollars, I would say, because the other one, you can use that too if you want to, but we don't have enough. And you would have to pay for that, so we are not going to do that. We are going to use that one. And this is more or less the one we are going for in our different kinds of style here. Of course, they have a little bit of different options there, but in the end, I think this one is a pretty well-rounded one. Okay, and we will, even I didn't know that, but we will have to wait for them to come here. Okay, so first off, let's play a game as they told us there. Waiting for the loading here, and after a while you are going to see who you are going to play with, more or less. So in the end I selected this guy. Doesn't really matter, you can use anyone. There are a couple of different people there, and you can of course have a look at who you want. And here you see you have your band, where you can of course select different kinds of people. Hey, come on. And of course the guitar shop itself with different kinds of colors and whatever. And you can later on even do much more than that, for instance a manager and other instruments and stuff like that. But we want just to play this once. And you can already see it's a pretty complex game if you want to, and it's a pretty fast to play and easy game if you don't want to. So first off, let's go with the easy mode here, this one, and we are going to play one of the gigs just to show you what's going on. It's more or less like Guitar Hero but on the smartphone, so you will have to be pretty fast with switching between the lines. You have 3 different lanes here, which is a little bit really not how it would be, because a guitar would be different, right? But whatever. All the time you are hitting at the appropriated moment, more or less, you are going to see this kind of, let's say, I don't know how to call it, maybe these fluffies or whatever. So the lights, the flares you're seeing there. And of course you can hit the note by holding the finger on that and get a couple of different points for that. As you already can see, there are power-ups and stuff like that going on. And I lost because I'm just bad at it. Nowhere. But anyway, as you can see, you're going to play like Guitar Hero. You will have to really make the right timing out, more or less, to play this game. And of course, you will have to really go through the tutorial to make this better. So let's try it one more time, just to show you. I'm not sure if I'm going to play it better, but we are trying. So just go in. Come on, start. Thank you. And here we go again. This time I'm going to try to make it a little bit better, but I'm really nobody who might be able to do that. We will see. I never played Guitar Hero on a guitar or something. I have guitars around, I can play a little bit of guitar, but it's really not my game in general. And with the yellow part there, hold the clicking. So just hold the line to make more points from it, more or less. And it's always a good idea to click a little bit pre-major, so don't wait too long. Otherwise you're going to lose all the different notes here. And I'm trying to make it a little bit better now. Maybe I did, I'm not sure. What happened? Is it enough? I'm not sure. Yeah, I won. Okay, perfect. So this one was good enough for this first session we are playing there. And as you can see, you can play it in a pretty easy and fast fashion, but you can go and dig much deeper into this game. Try it out, I really like it, but it's only playable with a smartphone. You shouldn't try to do it with mouse or keyboard or whatever. And it's of course not Continuum enabled, because it's just not meant to be for that kind of scenario. Yeah, and this is more or less, in a sec, I'm just going to get rid of it. This is more or less the end of the episode. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I hope you had fun with this game. On one of the games might be what you want. If you want to download the games, I will put down the links in the description box, of course, and you will have to use the special method I showed you in one of the other videos. You can see that at there, or there is a link to where I'm going to talk about what's going on there and how to do it. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, have a great time, have a great day, and see you in the next episode, of course. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't subscribe till now, do that now. And if you have any kind of questions, comments, whatever, put them down below into the commentary section, and I'm going to try to answer them. Other than that, thank you for watching, see you around, and bye. Bye.